Hello and welcome back. This is Wixwell Part 2. I have not gotten it to work yet. I've been working on what I wanted to do. I've been thinking out my plan. I've been planning everything that I'm doing to make sure that nothing runs off. I now have him set. And he's fully auto too, which is really freaking cool. But I have him set. I'm pretty sure it'll work. We're going to give her a watch go through here. We're not going to go all the way through because I think it'll go a full 15,000 or 1,500 rounds. But that said, 1,500 rounds, I should be able to do more than enough damage. The wonderful team we have here, we start out with Raz, 247, Grazor Iron Guts. So Razzlevarg is here for the speed, and that's it. And damage. Iron Guts. Extender, damage. He does HP, max HP damage. Demitha, only here for, she's here for buffs. She puts tons of buffs out, which makes the shields grow faster, which keeps me healthier longer. Demitha, awesome. Emic. Emic is here for multiple reasons. One, he takes away the turn meter from all the other guys, so stuff decreases. And we grow up faster. When I mean grow up, I mean these all become plus 10, plus 12, plus 20, on the shields. And because of Emic, we turn off completely his A3. And the reason we turn off his A3 is, first off, we don't need the unkillable. And we don't want the, can't even think of the name of it. We don't want the the taunt on him. Because he doesn't get the stuff right away from Wixwell, the intercept. And then Wixwell does intercept, turn meter, and the infinity shield. Not turn meter. Wixwell does everything. But he does the extend, he does the infinity shield, and he does the intercept. So it keeps us clean. This is a fully auto set. As I said, we did turn off the A3 on Emic. I was running into some problems, and I figured out what my problems were. You want to talk about the dumbest person on the planet? You're about to see him. Right here, it's me. What was my problem with Emic? I had a problem with Emic. His shields were running out. I had 4 pieces of Relentless. He was taking an extra turn, and the extra turn was eating away at it slowly. So right around turn 40, he would die, and then everybody would die. All I have to do is I just replaced the boot because it's the same speed and it doesn't do anything. And let's see how this goes. We'll run her up to about turn 20 to see how it all works out. But you'll watch from end to end how I came up with a Wixwell build for my clan boss team. And here we go. We're in a battle. We go to our team setup. Select the Wixwell Infinity comp. Here, once again, we can just show you real quick. Razzlevarg is everything. No modifiers, no nothing. No modifiers, no nothing. Demitha, we're having her go with her A2 first to extend the mini shield. Though it really doesn't matter. I can remove that and it isn't going to matter. Emic, we turned off his A3. And once again, his A3, we don't need the unkillable, we don't need the shield, and we don't want the taunt. I mean, if it was just the other two, I could care less. But that taunt is what's killing us. So we don't want the taunt. In Wixell, completely. So this is a very simple, very, very simple. There's no real things. I can turn this off and just set it to default, and it works just fine. But I just wanted to. That's all it's to it. It's a real simple build. Let's take a peek at it in action. So, just so everybody knows how this all works, Wixell himself is in a shield set. Sorry about that. Wixell himself is in a shield set. And that means that everybody's going to get these small shields right here that are 30% of Wixwell's HP. So guess what we're doing with Wixwell's HP? We got his HP max to the max to the max. He doesn't do anything to the clan boss. He doesn't take anything. He doesn't do anything. So screw it. I don't care. We're just going to let her rip, right? Iron Guts Grazor. He's with his A2 when it goes off, it increases the shields. So right now my shields are fairly small. They're at 3. They're decent size, but I mean they're not huge yet. When we get up to like turn 20, they start really growing fast. Excuse me. So we're cruising along. Once again, the only reason I allow Demitha to put out her block buffs isn't because I want to block any damage that comes in, but it's one more buff to add to the, because you got to remember, Wixell, his multiplier is based on the number of buffs. So the more buffs that are out there, the better. If a person was really smart, it's not me. If a person was really smart, they would figure out a way to incorporate all the shields, all the everything that goes on. Wow. Numbers aren't growing. The shields are growing good, but I'm not seeing the numbers here growing the way I want to see them grow. I'd like to see those little shield numbers up to like 10. But that said, but yes, essentially, Rasselvarg's out there for speed control. We're keeping the shield numbers up. They never go below 2. Back up to 4. And the shields are pretty big now. I mean, you can see on Emic, they're outrageously big. But we're still at 2. Let's see that 2 go away. Three. I want to see it go up higher than 3 or 4. Is Wixwell's still got his? Yeah, or no. Here is, yeah, Wixwell still has this little shield. Good. That scared me for a minute. But here we're at turn 12. We're still hitting. We're still going through the way that we're supposed to. We're still making progress. We're not going below 2 on the shield on anybody. And then restore. Boom. Come on. There we go. Restore. and then increase. There we go. And increase. There we go. Back up to 4. So I think we got a pretty good pattern. I don't think it's going to run out. And as you can see, the shields are now have grown quite large on everybody. Emic does add to the shields, just not near as much as Wixell does. But hell, any addition is a good addition. So let's explain how does this team work. I've given you guys some hints, but there's a real science to this that I wasn't aware of that I'm going to share with you guys so that way you don't have to have the same problems I did. And I'm just going to make sure that these never go below 2. We're at 2. Goes back up to 3. 2, 3, 4. I think we're in a pretty solid pattern here. We're down to 2 again. Up to 3. Down to 2. 3. 4. 3. And see, you can't lose anybody on the team or else you get out of sync. But I think we're good. Everybody's got intercept on them. So we're safe there. No one's going to be resting on their laurels. And I think we're good. So I'm going to talk about how this team actually works. Like the actual guts of it. Here you notice that they don't have the small shield listed. The reason for that is we're using the shield equipment type. And that shield equipment is going to put out a 30% shield off of Wixwell's HP. I have Wixell set up to 70,000 HP. Not that it's a huge amount of HP. I know there's guys out there that probably have it at 100,000 plus, but it's a good number for me. And so he's putting out a pretty solid opening shield. Then his A2 goes off and increases that shield every turn. Or not every turn, but every third turn. And what the tricky part is everybody goes, why don't we use the big shield? Because the A2 also puts out a shield. Or, I mean, the A3 puts out a shield, but it also puts out the intercept. The reason this team works is you don't need somebody to block debuffs or anything. So you can run with intercept. You don't need to run with a Doom Priest or something like that. Doom Priest or can't think of the other guy's name. Anyways, the point that I'm getting at is you don't have to block buffs or debuffs, and you don't have to remove debuffs. So you don't need to worry about that stuff. You can just let it run. What do you need to worry about? You need to worry about everybody keeping their stuff high. So I've got my team running right now, and it's still running, and no one's hurting. Shields are still at that 3 and 2 area, but you can see that the small shield, this little guy here, that small shield is now quite a large shield. We're at 3. Come on, 4. There we go. And we're at turn 27. This is where I used to lose it. I've done a few experiments. I have not successfully run this through yet. This will be my first successful run through of it. It's looking good. So as I said, the key on this is we're not growing our shields. We're growing this little shield here. Could we grow our shield? We could build a team that uses Brogni. That's the guy who I couldn't remember. We could build a team that uses Brogni to put out block debuffs and then grow that. And then his A2 goes off and grows the shield faster. But he would have to replace Razzlevar. And that is a no-go in my book. Is it a possibility? Would it work? 100% yes, it could work. Do I think that I could make this work? So, we have now done a proof of concept. I want to let this run until the end to see what the final score is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to come back in a little bit, and we're going to find out how it did. And we reached our turn limit. Grisur did the boatload that I expected him to. Razzlevarg did a decent amount. Emic did a whole lot more than I expected. Wixwell and Demissa did nothing, which was expected. Emic did way more than I expected, but that said, we reached 1500. We went all the way to the point where we were supposed to. So we got now that wasn't a great run, but we're figuring it out. What I really would like to do is I replaced this with, what's her name? Chrissy. If I was able to replace that with a Chrissy, I keep the 2-to-1 in place and actually be able to get this done. This may work. This may work. It's consistent. It works. We're going to give this a shot. Let's see what happens. I'm going to waste more gems, but let's see. This time we're going to just do it all setup. And I'm going to replace Razzlevarg with Crizia. Come on, Crizia, where are you? Went too far down. Here you are. And Crizia has either crit rate or crit damage on the top, so that should help. Let's take a peek at this then. Well, I don't want to do it again, but we're going to do this again. Let's see if we can increase these numbers a little bit. Now, instead, hit auto. Everybody got a little bit of an owie there. But Acrizia is doing much more damage than the other guy was. And I think we're going to be in a better spot. I like what I'm seeing. I just don't know if we're going to have enough intercepts out to take care of everything. We will find out the hard way, huh? So I'm going to pause this again and we'll take a peek after a few rounds. Well, that experiment ended in disaster. But we did get our Wixell team working, so I'm happy with that. I can live with what we got done. The Acrizia part, I bet you I can make it work. I think I need to just up everybody's speed by 20%. And then I could get it to work. But that said, I'm happy with what I got done, how I got it done. Let's move forward. I just wanted to show you how and why and where stuff moves in. So thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great one.